You all set?
Yeah. Didn't know
Hell
it worked like that. Without Wonder Kid, man,
yeah. I know, man. Look at that.
growing pains, folks.
Are we officially in and going?
Yeah, we are. Is Shauna here?
Nah, but I think we'll probably start. I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, go ahead. Let her know.
Yep. All right.
Cool.
Well, what's up, folks? How we all doing tonight? We got 20 minutes of time before we start rolling. We get the aces a little bit later. I'm gonna give I'm gonna give her a B. Okay, we got 2, 2, and 1 so far. We got obligatory dog intro. Come here. Come here.
Ah,
Come here. This is Daisy. Yes.
Daisy Lazy.
Chilling. Hello. Daisy crazy. You want to say hi to everyone?
You know she does. Dogs be
Daisy mascot. Hello.
dogs are what's the word? Attention whores.
Oh, she's the biggest. Look at her right now. Look at how she's hanging. She's loving all of this right now. She's like, bro, would you get off me? I'm done. I'm done with you pimping me for content. How dare you? Ah. Easy, easy dog. All right.
All right, hold on. All right. I believe we are live where we need to be.
Cool.
Why do I hear another mic? What's going on?
Huh?
Oh, I thought I heard another mic picking up.
Oh, no. That might be your TV in the background, potentially.
I'm far away from my TV.
The
But
stream. Oh, okay. All right. I'm ready to cook because I have a lot of thoughts about this, Greer.
let's get into it, Andrew. Yeah, all right. So starting things off, it's WNBA opening day. We have 4 games on the calendar tonight, beginning with Mystics and Liberty, but we'll get to them in a minute. Caitlin Clark just wrapped up her WNBA debut, and it was a doozy, right? Like a roller coaster of emotions. Really, is I think the best way to describe it. Anticipation, I think, is something that we felt all day long. Basically, since we knew Indiana was getting the number 1 pick, and we knew that she would be being paired up with Leah Boston, right? Last year's number 1 pick. And so anticipation, that I just felt anxious all day, basically, right? Waiting for her to get started. We knew she was going to be starting on the road. As soon as the schedule dropped, we looked at it and said, oh shit, she's going to be playing against the Connecticut Sun. That's interesting. So Andrew, tell me after watching, the Caitlin Clark effect for 40 minutes, what are your thoughts?
In hindsight, I hated the Sun matchup. Why they would do this would be like, hey, we're gonna put LeBron James against like the grit and grind Memphis Grizzlies to open the season. Like, it just is. It is a bit of a bummer, and there is an aspect here for like the fans in the know, right? Like the W day ones that she goes out there and say she were to have scored 35 in a win tonight. W fans in the know what it means to score that way against the Connecticut Sun. But a lot of new fans, and I want to be careful because I don't want us to put everything in the perspective of it has to cater to new fans exclusively and fuck everybody else that's been here for a long time. But at the same time, I couldn't shake the fact that there's 20,000 people in Mohegan Sun and it sounds dead.
No, well, not 20,000. No, I think Mohegan has a 9,000, something like that.
Either way, it sounded dead.
I mean, it's a retirement home. What did we expect?
It was not a great atmosphere. It wasn't a great environment. And if you're coming over from the college game into the pro game, right? And your only exposure to women's basketball up to this point has been Carver Hawkeye and CLA
Kinnick
and
Stadium.
Kinnick Stadium games, and a packed out Galen Center, and going down to the Bayou and like watching these NCAA tournament games. I would imagine it was probably very jarring seeing like 9,000 people at Mohegan Sun. And Ryan Ruocco, God bless our bald king Ryan Ruocco, having to find a way to fill the dead air. Like, for those of you, just to give you a peek behind the curtain of TV, like, play-by-play guys are at their absolute best when the atmosphere is great because you do not have to talk a lot. You can let the space really fill up the screen from an audio standpoint and let, the crowd do the work of putting the viewer there. When the crowd is dead, you end up with Ruocco and Lobo talking about like what the definition of like shimmy is with Kelsey Mitchell there, like in the second quarter. I'm like, whoa, I know when I see a bomb, and this is a bomb right now. As it pertains to Caitlin, I feel like it was about as good as we thought it was going to be. Like, the turnovers obviously need to be cleaned up, but she scores 20. Some of them are garbage time points. I look at the fact that there was a stretch there where she was 5 of 7 after starting 0 for 4. And so, like, there was a period of settling in. Some of that came when Dejanay came out of the lineup. So there is a little bit of a component there of, the primary defender wasn't on her for that stretch where she started to hit. But the poll currently shows 4 for B, 5 for C, 2 for D. I would say if we could put C+ in there, I think that would probably be it. I'm curious about game 2, just in terms of like a pacing and not super lockdown defensive opponent. Because to bring our girl and Shawnee's best friend Sabrina Ionescu into the fold, quiet game 1, if we recall, in 2021, and then comes out and basically throws out a 37-7-7, I think, or a 34-7-7 in her second game against a team that allowed more pace to be played offensively. So, what was it like to just kind of see her in a WNBA uniform? Like, I thought it was just, like the, chat says, like, to see it in living color, like, it is kind of interesting to see Caitlin Clark in a non-Iowa uniform playing non-Iowa basketball for the first time. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, a couple things that stand out to me. One, I loved how petty the Connecticut arena operators were with the bandwagon cam.
Yeah.
Anybody wearing Caitlin Clark, Iowa, or Fever gear got put on blast, because, like, I love that. I did love how many fans you heard cheering anytime she touched the ball, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, again, we know she brings the hose out. Hose will travel for Caitlin Clark, right? Even to Uncasville, Connecticut. You know what I'm saying? Gino was in the crowd tonight. You know what I mean? Hey.
No one was rooting for that Connecticut Sun defense harder than Gino Oriema tonight.
You know what I mean? So, right, we need validation at the end of the day for his choosing page. But, I think what stood out to me, two things. The turnovers. Like, Caitlin, I think, had a propensity at Iowa to play a bit faster than her teammates were capable of keeping up with. And so far, what I've seen in the preseason and this game is they're going to have to figure out a way to minimize her turnovers. Some of it is her, like, loosey-goosey nature with the ball, but then also some of it is I need the bigs to wake up.
Bro, I'm going to hold off. It's one game, but boy, Aaliyah Boston had a tough evening tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this is, after a season where she looked like, she could be an all WNBA type performer. Underwhelming preseason, underwhelming first game. What I did love about her tonight, though, was pulling Caitlin aside as they walked into the locker room during halftime, right? And just, I don't know what the message was, but the body language certainly suggested, stick with it. And this is how we can help you, like, succeed in the second half. And I think she played a much better second half, like, no doubt about it, But, also a couple things. Like, Dejanay's never played this much defense in her life.
Bro, Dejanay, that was a masterclass. You would have thought she was playing a Tara Vanderveer coach team tonight.
Yeah.
Like,
never played this much defense in her life, but then you end up leaving the game with cramps. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's life is funny that way. And then also AT's first double-double of the season. DeWanna Bonner surpassing Candace Dupree, of all people, to be fifth on the all-time WNBA scoring list. Very, very funny with that. But also just like, I felt like Connecticut's entire disposition, right, to drawing Indiana as their first opponent at home. If you were paying attention closely to the broadcast, you could hear different moments of like game break action where they're like, this is our house. We want to play really hard. And don't get me wrong, like, that is how they play all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not any different, but it did feel at least like they were being more vocal about it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And then also, like, shout out to fucking Brianna Jones, who just came in after tearing her Achilles, like not an easy injury to return from. And she looked great tonight. She was eating AB's lunch today.
And shout out to Ty Harris, too, another member of Dallas CSU, like showing up and proving a point to be like a rotation player in this league fully. The thing that I want to see, and Joe made a good point of it, was sides. Like, weren't we sold Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston pick and roll to death? Like, wasn't that the whole sales pitch of drafting her and, this 1-2 punch and Kobe Shaq and da-da-da? Like, I was really surprised at how not often we saw the two of them in actions together. And we honestly had Caitlin in a lot of off-ball situations too, which I'm sure was uncomfortable. The thing that was so interesting is that seeing how she adjusts to the gameplay is going to be fascinating. Because, one of the things that I do think Lisa Bluter deserves a degree of credit for, as she retires here, is the fact that she did, for better or worse, let Caitlin be herself. And that was part of the allure of that team, was like, they played the way like these Drake, Allison Pullman, Jenny Baranchik, now Jan Jensen and Lisa Bluter teams play, which was
not the whole Iowa first team.
It's amazing though. Like, they all those teams played the same way. The coaches coach the same way. The ball movement, the pacing, the speed, it's all the same type of ball. And that's what Caitlin is accustomed to. And so I am kind of curious, as we get her into more half court, what her adjustment to that's going to look like. Because I think, and I don't want to keep doing the Sabrina comp, but I feel like there are similarities in their games. And even a couple of years ago, I would be in spaces saying like Sabrina is adjusting her game to be more like Caitlin in the W, as she adjusts to become more of a 3-point shooter now that she knows she can't be crafty enough and doesn't have enough speed to beat guards off the dribble the way she could in college in certain ways. Sabrina could play in the half court because they relied so much on action and pick and roll action when they were at Oregon. And you got a lot of pick and roll action at Iowa. I didn't see a ton of it tonight with Caitlin as the primary ball handler. And so I know that there's probably some element with sides of like, you got to earn your keep, Rook, blah, blah, blah. But like, this is Caitlin Clark. Like, you got to let her kind of do her thing. And you started to see that a little bit later on, in this game. So I think she's going to settle in. I think she's going to be okay. I really do worry about like what the Fever are going to look like, because there's a lot of expectation around this team. Like, are we going to get another 14-28 year? Because, you look at the team that's about to go on in the Aces, and, what do you have? You have number 3 pick, like Asia Plum, or they're 3 number 1 picks. And Chelsea, Asia. Yeah. You have here 1-1-2, I believe.
Yeah.
And
Melissa, yeah.
You could argue Nalissa, probably could have been the higher pick of that, 2 in that draft class. So, you juxtapose those two franchises, and all of a sudden you've got one team that's one.
I'm saying they got 3 in Katie Lou. I mean, she was a top 3 pick too, Yeah, I mean, they, no shortage of talent. And then I look at somebody like a Kelsey Mitchell, right, who is a proven bucket getter in this league, coming off her first true earned All-Star appearance last year, right? Coming back from injury. How does inserting her into the starting lineup when she's fully healthy?
Yep.
Because Wheeler is not this. There's no way, right? No. There's no way.
I'm curious about Kelsey. Here, keep going because I want to look up something here on Kelsey's usage.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
I know she's dealing with an ankle injury coming back to the season. So interesting to see how sides what the rotations are going to be, because tonight the first person off the bench was Christy Wallace, and it's just like, come on now.
I need more than that.
You know what I mean? Like everybody's got to be better, including the coach. You know what I'm saying? And we got the what's up, Johnny? What's up?
I'll let you finish your thought. Finish your thought. I'm about to mute.
Yeah, no, everybody's got to be better, sides included, right? They got to take care of the ball. You know, Melissa missed a couple bunnies as well. Mm-hmm. And last year I thought one of the things that plagued the Fever was like selfishness, right?
Yes.
And even tonight, like they're better at it, and obviously they've added more pieces, so it just takes a little bit more time. But I saw Nalissa like look off Katie Lou, who was open from three, like wide open from three on multiple occasions tonight. And it's like, yes, are you capable of shooting a three? Have you added that to your game? Yes. But it's Katie Lou Samuelson. Like they brought her in as a free agent to do exactly that. You know what I'm saying? So just, you know, for lack of better terms, like trusting the process a little bit more and trusting the vision that the front office has for the Fever, I think will go a long way. And everybody, you know, if their real goal is to be, you know, an 8th or 7th seed, like those are some things, those are some habits that they're going to have to get rid of very quickly.
Yep. And to your point on the looking off, I looked up the usage numbers from last year. To Kelsey's credit, man, it's gone down every year. I mean, she was up there with like Sabrina Enrique usage her rookie year. She's down to 23.9 now. Nalissa was at 27% last year possessions. So that's someone who, you know, you're going to have to be cool. You didn't want to hand the ball away to Aaliyah, who was under 20% of the possessions last year. But now you got someone that you kind of can't do that sort of thing with. So I'm very curious to see. I set a heart out at 8. So the one thing I am going to say before I let Shawnee come and take over here is this. I went to Instagram because I wanted to see what the commenting looked like. And Caitlin Clark has achieved stand-up, folks, because instead of what I thought I was going to get, which was a lot of like kitchen, you know, WNBA's trash, Caitlin's white, like when I thought, like, and I say this as the man trademark here, like I thought the men trademark were going to be rolling out and looking for every opportunity to turn on this league and its players and its star child in Caitlin Clark. And you know what I saw a lot of? I saw a lot of people be like, were we judging Wemby after his first game like this?
Hey, because Wemby's first game was fucking terrible.
It was horrible. And I was like,
going back preseason when he said he looked lost. Like, he admitted that.
Yeah. And I was like, wow, how far we have come. And then my second thought was, we have stands. Like, real-ass Drake Aubrey Graham certified blank, blank, blank stands in the stands. So I am fascinated to see what the rest of this year looks like.
Yeah, I heard that somebody paid like $6,000 for a courtside ticket tonight. Like that's
for Andrew.
Uncasville, bruh.
Uncasville.
You're getting the full female experience, not having any faith in men. So welcome to feminism, my brother.
We're here.
You are Knuff. You are.
You are. No, nevertheless, he persisted.
You go, boy boss.
Boy boss is crazy, dog. Oh my god. Shout out to our real Tyler.
You guys,
real boy boss.
The real boy boss. Living his best.
All right, Sean. Caitlin, you know, you established your parenthood 4 years ago. She has flew the nest. She is living in the real world. Her first day with a big girl job. What are your immediate impressions?
Y'all can't tell me nothing about her. 20 and another stinker. She had a stinker and put up 20. I kept tweeting. I said, I need 30 in that season opener. 30 would feed family. She came 10 points shy. And this is after having an abysmal first half. Like, I was sitting there like, okay, let me get my pivot ready because it's getting kind of wicked here. And the thing that pissed me off so much was she was getting every shot she wanted. Like Dejanay went parachuting on that first 3-pointer she took. So it wasn't because like Dejanay did have her playoff defense on tonight, and she was absolutely clamping up. So I'm gonna give that to her, but it's not like Caitlin was still able to maneuver in there and find her shots. It's just like the shots was going halfway down and popping back out. But it's like nobody wants to hear that. They hating. So the stat line is king tonight. So I was like, sister, I need you to at least get me to double digits. I can defend double digits. And she got me 20. She got me.
I also look at it as like she probably went against the most physical team in the W tonight.
One of them, yeah. And this is after going against Dallas in the preseason and putting 21 on their heads.
You know,
she saw 3 different defenses. And
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm not panicked. I'm not alarmed. I would say, like, I feel like she hit the floor a few times tonight, like harder than I've ever seen her hit the floor before. But, you know.
I will say, so there was some screens being set that everybody on Twitter told me were meant for Cece, and it was Katie Lou, Rachel Banham threw some weight and knocked somebody out, and I was like, everybody but Cece getting laid out. That's kind of interesting. But that fourth quarter, when she started being aggressive and she started seeking, because she went at Alyssa Thomas, bro.
Right.
Like at that point, she was like, all right, well, I got hit. I didn't die. And that's what I've been teaching my children, resiliency. What don't kill you, you get up and you try it again. So she started taking it at folk and like seeking the contact. And I think this is a Christy Sides thing. They have to really like hash out, are we running through the offense through Aaliyah? Or are we running through Caitlin? Because there were a lot of times where she's picking up her dribble mid-court because she's already got down court and passing it to Aaliyah, who is like is still inside the logo. And I'm like, her, Aaliyah, and Erica Wheeler are all like around mid-court in this little like triangle offense. And I'm like, Phil Jackson is rolling in his grave. What are we doing here?
My guy's not dead, but yeah, figurative grave.
That man high out of his mind. He is not with us. Like
yes,
in the lakes of Minnesota.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, what is the offense going to be around? Because Caitlin's strength is like, you know, transition, like free flowing, right? Aaliyah Boston, much was made of her off-season program and the shape that she's gotten into.
Right, because if you start running the inside, the outside opens up. But if you got Aaliyah standing around waiting for her to do something and not like posting up immediately and commanding the ball,
now we're showing Aaliyah Boston the Hannah Stokey tape. That's basically what you're saying. We need to
sister get on the blocks, and when you hear that gun sound, I want you to take off because it was just too much. Like. You got it? Or you go ahead. No, you go ahead. No. And it's like that awkward moment where you're trying to figure out who goes through the door first. So both of you are trying to hold the door open for the other person. Somebody got to go through the door.
Yeah.
So, and that's on Christy's side. Cause like when you like, again, in that fourth quarter, when Caitlin was like, all right, F it, we scoring then. She got, who was that? DeWanna Bonner Alyssa Thomas 1-on-1. She hit that 3 over somebody. And it's just like, if she had been this aggressive the entire time, and really look to score, and then they fed off of that, this looks like a different game. They might have won because they were hanging with them for a good minute, and then it just fell apart. But it looks like they were trying to get her going and get her comfortable, and it looked like she would have been more comfortable feeding off them and, you know, allowing them to get her going. So they've got to figure out what they're doing from the opening tip earlier, and that's on Christy Sides.
Yeah, you know, interesting because, you know, she's inherited 2 number 1 picks as a coach of the Indiana Fever, right? Like, and right. 2 players that, you know, basketball heads have described as generational, Aaliyah and Caitlin. And so I hope she don't fuck this up. You know what I mean? Because, like, most coaches would love to have this amount of talent served to them on a silver platter. You know what I'm saying? But I do want to switch gears a little bit because earlier today, go subscribe to us, no cap space, wb/substack.com. You dropped the Haters Guide to the WNBA. Actually, I'd love to drop the link in here, so I'm going to do that shortly. But yeah, you dropped your piece where you were, you know, previewing all of the storylines, all of the reasons to hate any team. But there's one team in particular And one player in particular, truthfully. And like 1.5 now, I feel like Stewie is like teetering. She's actually JJ and Stewie make 2. So there's 2 players that you hate: Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, and JJ, and they took on the Washington Mystics tonight in the very first game of the 2024 WNBA season, and they barely escaped our nation's capital with the W. Immediate thoughts. I saw you tweeting about how terrible they were and how unimpressed you were with their debut. Tell us more.
So, in the guide, in the link that Greer will be dropping, I said like,
thank you, Black Saber Jr. Appreciate it.
But like in the preview, I said like the rivalry's a little dormant because and cover your ears, Greer, but EDD be making Stewie her daughter, bro. But like she's not playing. So for them to be struggling, first off, they were late to the game, and I'm kind of like, it's DC traffic. Why didn't if it was that bad, sleep at the stadium? You didn't want it that bad. Why are y'all late to your own game? So
Washington should take it as a sign of disrespect that you thought you could get late.
Yeah, like who do you think you are? You're wasting my time. Like that clip of Mason Cam came to the set late, and Mace was like, "I'm getting ready to leave." That should have been the Mystics,
right?
But it's like from opening tip and they stretching back to preseason, the Liberty looked like I don't like it was gloating when I said it, but it looked like the Aces took their heart. Like they're not playing with any energy, they're not playing with any enthusiasm, like they're not playing with any fire. They're just out there running around doing whatever. And this Mystics team is without EDD and fitting in a number of new pieces. So this is not a team that you should be struggling with coming like fresh off of a finals appearance. You are a super team. You are a Commissioner's Cup champion. Like you have a year of experience where
your only trophy in franchise history, but continue.
The only banner keeping Barclays feeling warm at night. But you're fresh off of what could have, all things considered, you ran into the Aces. And yes, it was an embarrassing finals, but like you still had a successful season. That should not be happening game 1 where you're like in a dogfight with a team still trying to find its identity and find a score. Like if Washington finishes those shots down the stretch, different ball game.
Right.
Like they missed some bunnies, they got a couple, in and outs, but like New York would come back down the court and get a moving screen call and another offensive foul. So then we saw flustered JJ back. And it's just like, why are y'all pissing the game away? Do y'all have any clue what's going on? So I don't know what's going on with the Liberty, but if I were a fan, I would be very, very nervous because this isn't just like, oh, we'll play ourselves into game shape. It's game 1. Like they look like they've seriously regressed, and I don't know what's going on with them.
Yeah, this is interesting because this is like a season where, to my knowledge, like none or very few of their players went overseas this year, right? Like,
well, it's that Marine. She ain't even come back.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, she's not a player on their roster right now. Like, not.
Oop.
I mean, not like
I know.
It's not worth talking about right now. Like the people that are here, right? This is a team full of pros who, with the exception of like Fibich and Sabali, like did not go overseas this year. You know what I'm saying? Or no, JJ didn't go overseas. I'm lying. She played.
Oh yeah, because she got cooked there too.
Yeah, by
Liz Cambage had her in hell. Yeah.
But so that should have been an indicator of things to come, honestly. But
well, hold on, because Sabrina all up in the media talking about this is the most work, or I did all this work off season, and like this is the most intense off season I've had, or something like that. Like she said, she was putting in work. She had a worse game than Caitlin Clark.
She shot 33% from the field tonight, 1 of 7 from 3. Woo, stinky.
For what, 12 points?
15.
15?
15, and she was -2 tonight.
She had a worse game than Caitlin Clark.
That's a fact. I think I want to clip that because,
like, Caitlin puts up 20 in a stinker. Man, come on, stop playing with me.
Yeah, no. Danny in the chat asked, "Do you think this is Brondella's last? And do you think she lasts the entire season?" And it sucks that a coach is going to be or will be the scapegoat for an underperforming team, right? Because I don't think she's necessarily responsible. Like, I just don't think that they're very good. I just don't think that they're very good. I think there are teams who made moves this offseason, namely Seattle, right? Who just got better on like roster, but also like they have that fire, they have that hunger, right? Like, and I just don't, to your point, Shawnee, like, where was the energy for the Liberty tonight? The last time all the starters played, you got blasted by 40 in a preseason game. You cut the one player who gave you energy in the one preseason game you won. And now here we are with this team that just is giving uninspired. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And, Errol Atkins, like, is a decent guard in this league. Some maybe a fringe all-star. But, like, you guys haven't even ran up against the buzzsaws of, like, terrific backcourts in this league yet.
Bro, this is about to be a lottery.
What are you to do about it?
We don't believe in you.
You know what I'm saying? So
the Mystics are about to be a lottery team. Like, this is gonna be a rebuild year for them. And I'm sorry, like, I think part of it is Sandy is who she is, right? Because you could go back and look at the Phoenix teams and really ask the question, did she utilize her talent and all that she had to the best of her ability? Because I feel like in 2021, it could have been a little closer. Some things could have went differently. And it does keep happening where she runs into some situations she can't account for. Like, Skylar Diggins-Smith didn't have a great finals in 2021. So it's like, what can I do about that? You game plan. You figure it out. Because Becky Hammond didn't have Chelsea Gray at all. Right. And still figured it out. So I think like Sandy, or Candace. Right. And it's like Sandy, I don't think is that creative to where, like, she can get the most out of her talent. She's just happened to have a lot of it. Talent, yeah. So this is another one of those cases. And, like, she got exposed majorly in the finals, in my opinion. And then this now is just like, this is pure effort. This is on them. But so I think they're like a mid-match made in heaven. Truthfully, like, high performing.
You're saying they deserve each other?
Two mid chicks saying exactly
where they're at. So
yes.
Okay, let's. I would say, like, some rookies are debuting tonight. Aaliyah Edwards already played her first game in the WNBA. Looked great. Definitely already had a welcome to the WNBA moment when she was trying to guard JJ at about 18 feet. You know what I'm saying? But, like, that's life. You know what I'm saying? That's going to happen to everybody. What I'm really disappointed is that we got the news that Nika Mule will not be suiting up for the Storm. And obviously,
TSA got my girl, free my dog.
But, like, I'm sure it has something to do with, like, the work visa. But, like, how did we get hers already? Is it because she's in our nation's capital? Like, what is going on? Like, we knew for weeks that she's going to be in the WNBA, and why isn't she ready to work? She already missed their Canada game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then now she's missing their home debut. Like, how much longer can we expect the situation? I think it really, really sucks and kind of puts a damper on. Obviously, a lot of fans want to see her play for the Seattle Storm. They haven't had a UConn guard in a while, or a UConn great guard. Let me be very specific. An all-time great in a minute, in a couple of years. So, I, for one, and a lot of other people are very disappointed that she won't be suiting up tonight. But the Aces are also getting championship rings.
Hold on, because you telling me Luigi ain't got consulate pool?
He's still an immigrant too.
Oh, man.
But that's crazy because he was with USA Basketball for all those years. So what is going on? We need all hands on deck to get her paperwork.
Gino, fill out the paperwork, big dog. Yeah. What's happening?
If you have to sponsor her, then hey, so be it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Moki made a call. Gino probably put it in, and Moki made a call.
Facts.
She said, "Build a wall."
She's definitely the one. Where was Kim Moki on January 6th? Aces are getting their championship rings. It's probably happening as we speak right now. Put in the chat earlier. They look absolutely amazing. Shawnee, do you have the Aces going as a three-peating this year?
I think Seattle is constructed. It's like a Stanford USC situation. You know how Andrew's always like Stanford's constructed to beat them, and one of the teams that can do it. I think Seattle is that team, and if they don't get it done, then I see it. I see three-peat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remain calm.
Yeah,
and realistic.
I would have them in my finals right now today. But I also think Connecticut, from what I saw tonight, like I think AT being she third? I know. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should be sleeping on them because they earned it in a way, like for disappointing us all those other times.
Like I said it in the guide, like I can set my watch to a third place finish. Like, and then what?
Clock is right twice a day, huh?
Like it just okay. Look, what are y'all gonna do to get over the hump? We don't believe in you. What are you gonna do about it? So at this point, it's just the same tape over and over again. So they're gonna have to show me something different before I start picking them to upset anybody.
All right. So Tia is already telling us that the Aces have a double-digit lead already. Not surprising. Okay. Do you have any hot takes? Any predictions that you haven't shared on the timeline that you want to get off here before we wrap up tonight and go watching hoops?
Caitlin Clark, MVP Rookie of the Year. Let's go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Nah.
No, I know, but it's actually funny that you say that because one of the things that I wanted to look at was debuts in the WNBA before, right? And how well people did. So the lovely people
she had the most turnovers in a game since Cynthia Cooper. This is what I'm talking about. All of her records are legendary. Like, you can't tell me nothing. Cynthia Cooper, she's in rarefied air even with her turnovers. So I'm on the hype train for life.
So you said she finished with 20, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, she just missed out on being on this list, right? So if you look at names here, obviously Candace Parker, just
Elena Deladon, man,
had the best debut of all time, debut of all time. But I
mean, god dang, she has that record too. Candace Parker is insane.
No,
can you because it's Collier after Cooper Dyke after? Can you minimize it a little bit?
I cannot.
Okay.
But, Candace, Nafisa, Cynthia, Dawn, Stacey Dales.
Stacey Dales Schumann.
Shout out to Oklahoma.
Okay.
Tamika Catchings, Brianna Stewart. You got a name on y'all, boy.
Don't ask me.
Edna Campbell, Tamara Moore, Diana Taurasi, EDD. So I mean, a great company again, and she just narrowly missed this being on this list. So Andrew brought up before you joined that he was super curious, because he's, at least for now, always gonna bring up Sabrina when it comes to Caitlin Clark comparisons. And he said that Sabrina laid an absolute sinker in her first game, but in her second game, she had 37, 7, and 6 or something crazy like that. So he's super interested to see how Caitlin responds in her second game. But
I should have been on time because I would have argued that because she ain't do nothing. All right, bro.
Well, he also put up a little poll, so I'm sharing the final results of that. So how would you grade Caitlin's first game?
B.
A B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I give her a B. Like I said, if Christy Sides had gotten everybody on the same page to start, different ball game.
All right. Well, okay. Yeah. So, I mean, those are things that we're going to be watching very carefully over the season, especially this first half of the season is, what system is Christy Sides putting in place? Who is she running the offense through? Can they minimize turnovers? That would be big because, everybody had too many turnovers today.
But only one had a legendary amount.
I'm surprised you want to claim that. That's incredible. I love it.
I'm a Russell Westbrook fan. What do you?
Oh, this is true. Well, I hope Caitlin's career goes a lot better than Russell's.
Hey, come on, dog.
You
got an MVP. Hold on, big dog.
He got one. But he played for the Clippers at the end of the day. This would be like Kaylin playing for the Connecticut Sun or something like that. Like
All right, man.
always a bridesmaid, never a bride type deal. So I'm hoping
Just can't win for trying.
her fortune is a lot better. We're gonna be here all season doing post games. Eventually, we'll have WNBA games on playback. So make sure you subscribe here. Subscribe to us on Substack. Subscribe to us on YouTube. What else would Tyler say if he was here?
Hit, share, like. Yeah, but I don't know. I be tuning him out sometimes, but come with us wherever we're going. We'll bring you the content. We'll take you to the content. Follow us.
Definitely. And we'll be back. I don't know when, maybe tomorrow, but tomorrow's like a full leave pass day, so we shall see. Any other parting thoughts?
My heart and my mind are clear.
All right. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for tapping in, and we'll be back soon.